Right now, we got a special playoff Saturday edition of Friday Night Football. I'm Eric Graver. The second round of the playoffs in the books, with teams trying to punch a ticket to the state quarterfinals, including a pair of Nick 10 teams. We're going to start in 6A. Harlem trying to advance to the quarterfinals for the first time, taking on Grayslake North. Starting in the second half, Harlem's up 10-7, but who else but DeAndre Young making plays with the ball in his hands, puts the Huskies up 17-7. Fullback Colby Cross letting everybody know Young is the LeBron James of Rockford. He wanted me to make sure everybody knew that. Knights looking to respond now, and this dude was a problem all night. Cameron Bates with the reception to make it a one-score game. Knights would go on to take the lead, so Harlem needs to answer now. Austin Redmond does that. He's in the end zone, and now Harlem has to hold on with 5 minutes left in the game. And the Knights, they would get into Harlem's territory at the 24-yard line. It's 4th and 10. They put the ball in the air trying to keep this game alive, but it's incomplete. Harlem gets the ball with just a minute remaining, and they would never give it back. They move on to the third round. It was rowdy out at Harlem High School, and they win it 24-20. Boylan on the road facing Nazareth in the second round. In the first quarter, all tied up at 7. The Boylan senior captain, Jack Curnow, getting through for a big sack. Defense trying to step up on a really windy day. Hard to move the ball, but the Roadrunner offense would turn it on. They connect for a long completion. Not see a lot of completions out there in any games. And same drive now, and little wide receiver screen. Nazareth showing they got speed all over the field. They get into the end zone to go up a touchdown. Here's that speed again. The quarterback, Logan Malachuk, was making plays out there. Quarterback keeper goes flying into the end zone. The Titans fall to Nazareth 38-13. In 3A, Stillman Valley taking on IC Catholic in Elmhurst. Cheerleaders fighting through the cold wind with the Stillman fans. Knights would get on the board first early, scoring the touchdown and converting, and they would go for 2, so they're up 8-0. Stillman looking to respond now, and they turn to their workhorse back. Porter Needs, what a run, breaking through the tackles, lots of yards after the contact. Finally brought down around the 5-yard line. Jory Spain adds to that. He gets the 6 points, finishes off Porter Needs' hard run for the score. And later in the second quarter, Stillman would recover a fumble, and Alex Hinkle capped the drive off with 6. But the Knights, they would turn it on later in the second half and beat the Cardinals 42-14. And they're going to get the winner of this game, Genoa Kingston on the road against Princeton. Start in the second quarter, Princeton up 7-0. Snap goes by Princeton, past the quarterback and into the end zone. Nolan Perry makes the tackle there for a safety to put Genoa Kingston on the board. Cogs get the rare 2 points. Later in the quarter, the Tigers respond. Tegan Davis connecting with Noah Laporte. That's a touchdown. Meanwhile, the Princeton defense just not giving up anything out there. They were making it tough on the Cogs, trying to make something happen, but they put an end to the Genoa Kingston season with a 26-2 win. We've had lots of good football so far. Next up, we head to the 1A bracket with lots of local teams looking to advance. Got more highlights when Friday Night Football returns on this Saturday after the break. Well, Rockford Lutheran won its first playoff game in 6 years last week. Now the Crusaders start facing teams from the NUIC in the 1A bracket, with a potential showdown with the defending champs looming if they can both win. And Lutheran at home for the second round against Fulton. No score in the second quarter. Fulton goes to the halfback toss. Ethan Price, wide open deep, makes the catch for the big gain, tripped up right before the end zone. That sets up Joel Ford for the Steamers touchdown. Steamers take a 6-0 lead into halftime. Lutheran head coach Jeff Lukey, his first season, he's got to be happy with just how the whole season's gone overall. In the second half, Lutheran trying to pass, but Fulton's Balin Damehoff with the interception sets the Steamers up in prime position for Ryan Eads. He's been a playmaker. He powers in for the 14-0 lead. Fulton cheerleaders getting a lot to cheer about. Some gritty football out there, and it was all Steamers in this one. Lucas Schrader is in for the score, and Fulton goes on to win it 28-0. Defending champs Lena Winslow trying to punch a ticket to the quarterfinals, taking on Williams, and starting in the first, the Cougars will hand it off to Nolan Coverdale, but won't do much as Henry Engel swoops in for the tackle. Lehman going to do what they do best and run the ball. Hand it off to Gunnar Lobdell, who scores on the first of Lewin's drives. Cheerleaders putting in the work just like the football team out there. Next drive, another handoff to Lobdell. He's going to pick up a good amount of yards, as he always does with the ball in his hands. Coach Rick Aaron telling his offense what he wants to see from them, and it's probably to run it again, so they're going to hand it off to Gage Dunker. He punches it right into the goal line. The Panthers up 14-0 now. Leewin faithful cheering on their team, looking forward to another great playoff run that they're putting together. We'll go back to Leewin again as Lobdell rushes in for another score. Rova never had a chance as Leewin wins it 76-7. Dakota fresh off its first playoff win since 2018, taking on Marquette from Ottawa. Starting off late in the second, Marquette is going to go for it on 4th and 4. Pitch it back to Tom Durden, but he'll get 2 blockers. The Indian defense is slipping and sliding, and Durden is full steam ahead, runs the ball in for the score, making it Dakota 22, Crusaders 13. Indians with the ball now, and it's a pass that's short. Charlie Mullen intercepts it, putting the momentum on their side. Crusaders will have a big pass play to set them up on the goal line. They punch it in to put them within 3. Good thing the Indian fans stuck out the weather out there at the Umbrellas. Dakota hands it off to Connor Matthews, runs it up the sideline, in for the score, and that would do it for the final score, coming to 30-19. Also from the NUIC, Forreston taking on Hope Academy from Chicago in the second round. Forreston looking to add on to their score in the third quarter with a rush from Jonathan Cobbler. He'll miss the tackles and run the field before being dragged down around the 27-yard line. Raining hard out there in the third as the Cards hand it off to Caleb Sanders. He punches it in for the touchdown. The student section jumping up and down, just powering through that football weather. And now in the fourth, the Cards looking to score again. Hand it off to Sanders, and he'll run to his left, get the space he needs, rush it in for the score to put this game away. The Cards win it 44-16. That sets up an all NUIC quarterfinals in 1A for next week's action. In the 8-man playoffs, Milledgeville taking on West Central. First quarter, Milledgeville going for it on 4th and goal from the 12. Connor Nye finds Bryce Aud wide open in the end zone. Missiles lead it 8-6 now. Moving to the second quarter, another 4th and goal for Milledgeville. Another touchdown for Milledgeville, this time from 1 yard out. Colton Wilk takes it outside to the end zone. There was no stopping West Central senior running back Caden Drost. He's taking this one all the way for the touchdown, shaking off some tacklers and just turning it upfield. That's what you need in weather like this, a strong running game, and West Central wins it 38-14. In the 8-man playoffs, Milledgeville taking on West Central. That's Polo quarterback Brock Salto. Calls his own number, breaks a tackle, and he is gone. 60 yards for the score. Polo up 8-0. Still in the first now, Polo's Dilo Fernandez will be running down Roy Sandberg behind the line of scrimmage. That's a great defensive play. Tackle for loss. Moving to the second quarter, Polo still up 8. Ridgewood quarterback Ryle Cator rolls out. His pass is intercepted by Salto in the end zone. That's going to be a touchback now. Moving to the second quarter, if some is good, more is better. Salto goes up the middle, puts a defender in the spin cycle. What a move. Goes 39 yards for the score. Polo wins this one 38-32.